ha. So here we come with a world so amazing. Space tourism is knocking by the door. Mars is ready. Rover is legendary, seated, waiting for humanity to habit Mars. The moon is also having its moon base being created for humanity and everything on it. As in, everything on this planet has to be somewhere else too. That's what multiplanetary means. So, how about a life where you imagine the difference between your peace of mind and the choices you make? Specialization, you might say. Specializing in something. The people we admire have lived a life where they have specialties on something. Someone was a physician, the other one was a doctor, the other one was an artist, the other one was this like hand-drawn artist, the other one was a poet, the other one was everything. Technology advances and creates more opportunities, more jobs, more creativity, yeah? But the foundation is specialization. Just like you don't wake up and say you're in love with 100 women. They'll call that witchcraft. They'll say you're crazy. That was only in the Bible. Was it Absalom? Yeah, that one did that. But in this reality we're living in, you can't share your love with 100 women. You can only share it with one. Honestly, just like you can have 100 kids and say you have the same love with them. That would be another community, a totally entire community at your disposal. When do you imagine reality beyond what others think? When do you imagine your future, your goal, the dreams on your vision board, and make it come true? Because as everyone is fighting harder to make something work out, fighting harder to feed on something, fighting harder to achieve something, to look good, to smell good, to achieve a certain level of education, to achieve a certain level of ranking at work, they don't forget that someone else is actually also toiling the same way, towards the same direction, but differently. We're in the same business, same mode of work, activated by light every morning. Those who sustain do shifts, they work at night. I'm talking about communities. Because not every community has got the clean energy around it to elevate those who live in it. Or someone else is having that option of hot water, cold water, bathroom and toilet. Is it a toilet? The shower room, whatever it is, boys and girls, whichever language you call it. Yeah? Others call it a post office, whichever language you call it. Yeah? Imagine someone who is still digging a pit latrine just to sustain their lives. Imagine a community where that person is digging that pit latrine. The risks he's taking down there, soil might cover him just down there, nobody pulls him up. That's what they call digging your own grave. But the person is also creating something that is actually changing other people's mindsets too. Because with a toilet, life is different. Someone somewhere in Asia fought so hard to see that an economy can create more toilets and took it up to the parliament. What have you done in life that you have took up and created for the communities you live? Not because you will live forever, not because you won't move on, not because you won't move on to somewhere else, but because they deserve. People will always want, people will always need. Even a parent gets to a point where they're like, hey, I took you through education, you're at university, you're working, you're doing a kind of work that pays you what I've never worked for. You remember the torn clothes I put on? You remember the torn shoes? You remember the morning drama, you have to rush to school? A lot changes. While other communities are changing, a lot changes. And that parent starts looking at the children. This is where situations like early childhood marriages come in. But imagine a world where we can help each other out. Where we, instead of living by population density, we live by reality, by enabling, by teaching, by informing differently, by equipping them differently. There's a friend of mine, it always tell, imagine if Africa had a computer in every room, in every home, under every roof, and they had an abundant power supply where they're not controlled to always trace on what they're consuming, where they have a sustainable income that provides, or they're on a solar system that powers them once, or any other kind of system. There is biogas. This person always tells me, Elvis, those are crazy ideas. Let's talk about something else. Let's do something else. But it's those crazy business ideas that have helped others to progress, other economies to become. Not because everyone can become, not because every economy can become, but because the leaderships guiding every community in these economies are limited. And in the process of being limited by the populations themselves or other sources of limitations, they end up broken. The laws don't work. The offices don't uphold anything. Then the one who is in the right upbringing becomes something to laugh about, Somebody who has gone through proper empowerment becomes something to laugh about, because the rest of the community understands nothing about what this person has specialized in. They need awareness. That's why today we need to really think on how we want to see a better future on all continents. Because while others are being upgraded. The internet is moving faster in the urban centers. The rural areas are being left out. And we can't blame it on anyone, but to do better, to provide better infrastructure that helps and elevates them all. Today the world is moving on to electronic SIMs, something you can't touch, something that is in your phone only and can be moved, just like we have batteries that can be moved from the phones. But there are people who are still don't even understand the power of a smartphone. That when you give them a smartphone to like hold for a month, they're like, why should I even be holding this thing? It's controlling me, it's taking data, it drains faster than the other small phone. It does. Those who are ready for it will always move on with it. It's the value of now, it's the power of creativity. So, and in this now, it's you who has all the power to elevate yourself, not anyone else. Elevate yourself from poverty. Elevate yourself from that landlockedness in your mind. Look at a PC. Look at a smartphone like something different, something more powerful than any other phone or any other device around you. Feed it like a child and see how it progresses, just like you buy that airtime and make those calls. Is how it works. Instead of thinking that, hey, those who are holding smartphones are go malala, they're showing off. It's not show off. It's knowing the importance and value of what you need, the tools you need. And it's not having so much money. Because even those with so much money sometimes just do without smartphones and work with other devices. So the generations change. You might find yourself in a generation where you aged and the only phone you can use is that small phone with buttons, while others also aged in the same generation you are in and they can use a computer better than any other young mind around. How will you age? How will you retire? That's the value of now. That's the point you should be questioning now, before your gray hair pulls up, before everyone starts mocking you, before everyone starts asking you, hey, you don't have to move away from your peers because of economic change, because of the economic drama. You have to think and create a better survival environment around you. When you can't buy a kilo of ugali, you can survive on a corn of maize from the roadside. It's the world we live in. You can't buy a kilo of meat, you can survive by a beef stick by the roadside. You can't cook like all the time. There's always those roadside foods, not the super heavy restaurants, not the bigger 7-star hotels, but those simple things that keep the world moving. How about us enabling them differently? How about us creating more awareness for them? How about us giving them an opportunity to age with that and the other soft skills too? Because the villages they're going back to will be only simple few clicks away. Somebody needs electricity, somebody needs the internet, and the smart world around them. Today we have a smartphone, you can just get a computer inside there and do other things. We're not all going to be doing technology. Others are going to be doing farming. Others are going to be aging in other ways. Yeah. But always make sure you among those who have always thought differently, because it's thinking different why the world changes, and it's the value of now. Dr. Rayyans Elvis, F2F Live, Creations. Visit creations.org. We give your business a digital reality makeover.